Hello everybody, it is Jane Vellante from Jane Vellante Art. Welcome back. I'm going to make a paper bag journal today and I have lots of really fun supplies. I've got some book pages, I've got some, I think this is rice paper. I didn't buy it, somebody gave it to me, so I'm not exactly sure, but it has the fibers in it like a rice paper. Let's see, I said book pages, I've got some transparencies, and it all started with this mono print that I did on my gel plate that I am absolutely loving. And I have, other basic supplies here, like a hole punch. And I actually used that. There was a piece of this paper bag that came all the way across on one side. So I just used my 2-inch hole punch to make them even on the side there. I've got some washi. I have tons of this pink ribbon. I think I'm going to use it. I don't know. I just brought it along for the ride. I always have my distress inks and I always have my turquoise iris brushes. So I've got her pro brushes and then I've got brushes from the Magic Pack. These are all made by Paint Pixie, by the way. And you can find the link to get these brushes in the comments. They're all my favorites. These come in the Magic Pack. I think I have 2. I think this is the whole Magic Pack here. They're amazing. They're just really great. I use them all the time. I have my Oohoo stick. Somebody please tell me if I'm saying that wrong. I always have soft gel. I have heavy gel. I always have gesso. I always have matte medium. I have another, this Eileen's tacky glue I really like. Assortment of ribbons, everything, all the supplies. I have them all. So let's get started here. I think first and foremost, I'm going to just cut this. Just going to cut the white edges off of this mono print here. If you are curious about gel printing, I actually teach all of my techniques in my mixed media club. You can check that out. We do so many things in there, not just mono printing. We do art journaling. We do a project of the month where we all do it together, which is really cool. And I also do a book of the month. So check it out, my mixed media club. You can go to janevellanteart.com. And then just click the Mixed Media Club at the top to learn more. Okay. I'm in love with this. Absolutely in love with it. I don't know. I just think it's all the different values and the movement and the flow. It's just so cool. Okay, so I want part of this to be the cover. So what we're going to do with this is all you have to do is fold it in half. There you go. There is your journal, right? That's your journal cover, actually. And I'm just going to take my bone folder and really get a good crease on that. You can have whatever side you want be the cover. I'm going to have this side, and then this is going to end up being a little tuck pocket. I'll probably put a pocket on this side. We'll see. And then I may do some of this rice paper on the back. So let's see how this all comes together. Okay, well, I know I want this to be on the cover, but what I'm going to do first actually is I'm going to reinforce the spine. And so you can use whatever tape you have that you think looks great. You can even use just masking tape. Let me just cut this so it's straight. And it's washi tape, but it's not going to stick forever, so I always put a line of glue. Always, always. I just wanted to say journey there. That might end up getting covered, but you know, do your best to get it straight. It's not a big deal if it's not super duper straight. All the way straight. Okay, a little strip of glue on the back. First, let me just try to stick that there. Pull it pretty tight. Let me just trim that little end there. And I'm just folding it both ways because I want to make sure it's really stuck on. But ultimately, that's the way it goes. All right, so that is on and I am ready to move along. So now I won't have a weird little edge here, right? It's covered, so it makes for a nice little spine. Oh, what am I doing? I want this to go on here. I may cover up a little bit of that, which is just fine with me. Just mark this. And I have that lined up right. That's pretty good. I just want to make sure it's square before I go crazy here. That is fine. And then we'll do this one right about here. Probably use this for the pocket, but we'll see. I might use a thinner one too. These are two fun little scraps to make something with later. A bit later. That's pretty good. Ooh, I love this. Love, love, love it. So I'm going to glue both surfaces. And when I glue both surfaces, it just gives it a little bit of slidiness. Is that a word? So that I can just make sure it's lined up pretty well. Slidiness. That's a word. Maybe not official, but y'all know what I'm saying. Really making sure that my corners and edges are down. They're down. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's move to the inside. I want to put a little pocket down here. I wonder if I should put it offset so that shows. That's kind of cute. Or do I want something thicker? That would go all the way to that. I have to cut it off. That's kind of pretty. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing that. And then I grabbed this book page. I'm just going to put it inside of here. So before I glue these little edges down, right? And I actually think, you know what? I wonder if that would look better on this. And then I could do, I have a whole bunch of these from the same book. They have just these weird little poems on them. I don't know. I just think they're kind of fun. So I do think I want to put that here. I was thinking, you know, I might just leave this and put a pocket, but I'm not in love with all these little lines. So I had it in there, but now I want it on here. And it's my book. I can do what I want, right? I think I'll just, let's see, make sure this is sort of centered here. That's fairly good enough. And this is really, really, really fragile. So when I cut it, especially with this cutter, I'm gonna start in the middle here, because sometimes when you pull your blade through this really thin paper, it just crinkles it all up and messes it all up. But when you start in the middle, you can go down, you know, up and down, and then that doesn't happen. And of course, making sure that you have a sharp blade in here too makes a big difference. And I noticed I'm at the end of my Oohoo, which is tragic because I don't think I have another one. It's tragic, so I may switch over to soft gel here, which is just fine. I love some soft gel, and I did not cut this square. But I could do a piece of this washi over it just to cover it, which is what I think I'll do. So if you cut like a 4-year-old like me, you can always patch it up with washi. I don't know why, I'm just really in love with that. I guess I know why, because it's pretty. I know why, it's pretty. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get, let's just try. I'm gonna see if I can try to cover this one. And I know it lines up fairly well at the top here and the side. And I see it's off a tiny. So let me just make sure I don't cut my cover. Just gonna trim that little baby bit. And I'm probably going to put some washi, or you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on the bottom so that doesn't even matter. See, I'm a bad cutter. I think I'll have this here. So do the washi first. Wherever did I put it? I don't want the same one to start. Let's start with Artful. So it already says Journey right here, and if I don't cover it up, I'll have 2 of those. I'm gonna get a fair amount of this on the book page. Okay, we got to break out the soft gel. And I have sort of ruined this Magic Pack brush, but it's really great for putting on soft gel now, so don't cry if you ruin it. Just use it for something else. I did not want that big glob of gel right there. Trying to see if I can get these two. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to cut it right about here. Try to cut it as straight as I possibly can. Not bad. I think I was a little off, but it's fine with me. Look at that one, can be cut right about there. So for this, I'm using heavy gel to stick it on because it is a thick, you know, thicker piece of ribbon. Do I have that? Yep, definitely on the right side. Let's just make sure it needs to be trimmed a tiny touch. Good. So I just want to do I need to do a little strip along the bottom, but this is going to, I have little things falling off of my fingers because I'm so sticky already. I'm going to do both sides here, let them dry for a second, and then this will dry transparent. So I'm just going to do the bottom gluing from the outside. You know, when you have ribbon that is lacy like this, it's a little tricky to get it to stick on, but you can do it. I'm literally just kind of smashing that glue. I'm smashing the glue in there, but I'm also making sure that it's not a big glob of glue, a visible big glob of glue. Okay, so I have this strip. I was going to stick something all the way into here, but these are going to be glued down anyways, and I thought that I really, really loved having this here. So I'm going to put this in, and I'll glue this down. after I put it in. Oops, I don't want to touch that quite yet. It's still wet. I just love those marks on there. Oh, I think I like it this way. So let's take some gel. It's going to use, here's another one that's all beaten up. See how often I use these brushes all the time. And I admit, sometimes I'm really bad and I leave them out without thinking, right? And the glue dries on. I do use the Paint Pixie brush suds, which by the way are the best. It's like it's a bar of soap, and it's like it's so great. It has this little meshy bag over it. So if you know what I do, if I leave this brush out and it dries clunky like this and yucky, I'll take a little bit of the soap and put it in water and just let this soak for a little bit. And then it has that meshy cover on it. And so you just rub it on there, and it, honest to God, it is the best brush cleaner ever. I mean, it has saved my brushes so many times. Okay, so I do have this little bit of leftover glue, and I don't want this to get glued down. So I think what I'm going to do, let me just mash this down here. Need more, need more. So y'all know that the Yoo-Hoo stick is dry glue and soft gel is wet glue. So there is a difference, right? You can really move on quick when you're using that. And that's why I use this so much, because it's much quicker for little projects like this. If I'm doing big decoupage, I always use soft gel. Big decoupage. You know, like on furniture or... I need to trim this. I'm going to be super duper careful. Home decor projects, whatever. I always use soft gel. It's archival, and I trust it so much. Okay, I just cut a strip of paper. It's not going to show. Just want to cover up the glue. So you don't have to do this part. You could also just take one piece of paper and put it all the way to this fold. It does show a little bit, but it's coordinating, so that's okay. Oh, really? It is a very old book page. They're so thin and fragile sometimes. Okay, so now it is time to glue this down, and I'm just going to glue these two areas here. Okay, that'll become our little tuck spot. It'll be so cute. This is still a little tacky here too. All right, so I'm going to let these dry while I move on over to here. Okay, so there are these little folds that expand when you open the bag, right? So, and there's a couple right here because I kind of flipped that over. So I'm going to glue together this one, but on the top, I'm going to leave this one because it becomes a little tuck pocket. So let me get just some heavy gel. And I just am going to kind of stick it in there. Don't go on that side. Just stick it in there. It's easier to do with a brush. And of course, I always use my fingers too. But sticking that together there. And then same thing on this side. I already started. That's what made me think of, oh, I need to tell them this. I just need a little bit in this little pocket right here. There we go. All right, so all of this kind of needs to dry, as I said before. So I'm going to try to figure out what I'm putting on this side. So we've got our little tuck pocket right here, which is so cute. We'll have something here. I don't know what. And then, so this is just our cover too, right? Okay, I'm gonna grab this rice paper here. I have this little scrap from Recycled Tissues that I think I'm gonna put right here, which you can't really see because this is closed, but this is kind of pretty. It's gonna have, am I gonna do this? I might have this pocket on underneath. I may save this for the back too. Let's just see what we do, but I think that's really pretty with this. Don't you? Do I want this green? I'm trying to decide if I just want this underneath. On the side. Maybe I'll put this on. I don't think I need to have it over the whole thing. I'll put this on. Soft gel. I like the tattered edge meeting up with this washi. I need to pull it a little tighter. Okay, so paper, wet paper on wet paper, it's going to wrinkle, it's going to buckle. Don't worry about it. Just make sure it's stuck down. So I just noticed I need a little bit more along the bottom here. And perhaps along the top, but let me trim a bit off. Everything is sticking to me. Oh yeah, definitely need more on the top. Okay, and then as it starts to dry, just be careful with it because if your brush isn't wet enough and you're going and smoothing down, it's going to pull your paper and rip it. Okay, so I don't want to overwork it. What you can do though is you can let it dry, and when it dries, you know, paper expands when it's wet and then comes back together when it's dry. So when it dries, a lot of these wrinkles should be gone. You can also use your heat gun on a low heat, and that's what I'm going to do. Run out. just going to trim these off. Okay, so this is super pretty. I don't know what that is wet from. Stop. So I could just kind of meet this up here. That might look a kind of funny. That's an option. I think I might want this. This is an option. I might want to rip it, tear it though. This side, like that side. But if I tear that off, no one will see the part I like. Do I like this? All right, let me put this on. Kind of like it. Should probably put why did I have it like this? So you can see here that the paper goes over that little cutout here. So I'm just going to line this up. All right. I'm glad I saved this for the back because I like it for the back. And then I'm going to have this little strip left here too. So I like this little poem. It talks about color. It talks about leaves. And I don't know, I just feel like it goes with this. So let's get this down first. I don't know where my bone folder went. It's in this pile of mess somewhere. Seriously. Here it is. Just camouflaging itself. Okay, I'm really making sure my ends are down. We'll open it up. Let me get some more in here. And some more down here. And that is actually going to be put down with this. So let's put this on. I kind of liked it. You know what I'm going to do to this first, though? I'm going to ink it first. So let me do probably tea dye. Maybe Rusty Hinge. Don't mind that. I'm not going to use the pad itself. I'm just gonna that'll be good. Yeah, quite a bit of that. What I'm going to do first is mark this and cut it so that it's pretty straight. Okay. All right, so while I am at it, I'm just going to ink a couple more areas. Okay, so the back is done. I may put something, a butterfly or something in here yet, but I found this little, it's like a little, I guess it's a poem, and I just inked the edges of it, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm really missing my Yoo-hoo right now. So I'm thinking about putting this in here. I almost want this paper to be a little bit darker. This paper, which I could just do. Could just ink it. See if I can just ink the edge of that pocket too. Just gives it a little bit of definition. That's all. Okay, I need a touch of pink up here, so I found a transfer that I kind of like. If I do a little soft gel over that, I want to protect it, and then it'll help with that little halo that we're seeing around the edge of the transfer. Not bad, not bad. I do like it. Okay, I think I'm going to put this little dragonfly here, and I'm going to figure out what to put there later. I just want to move on here. I just like his size. I think he looks real good right there. Pretty. This is really cute. Well, you know what? Whatever I decide to put in here, I might have a little pull tab on it so it fills up this space. One thing that I need to do is, because this opens like a bag, right? I need to glue, probably do, let me see if I want the bottom or the top glued. What would be easier? Probably the top. So I'm going to put some glue here and here. And then you need to do it one more time so that this sticks together, right? So we still have this little flap here. So we need to do it one more time so that when you open it, you just have one solid opening. So one more. So now this opens just right here. You probably should let it dry before messing around with it, Jane. I get excited. Thinking of adding this right here. It's hard to pick up. I think I like that. Just needed a third element. Okay, so let's move on, shall we? So I've got these amazing, amazing pieces of rice paper with these leaves on them, and I think they're just perfect for the inside of this. So I think I have 8 pieces all together. So I'm gonna nestle them all inside, and then we'll sew them in. So what I need to do is, I'm just gonna mark 1. And I want it to fit, you know, kind of nicely inside of here. And where is the... Let me make sure that closes correctly. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I don't need to cut the horizontal way, but I will need to cut vertically. So where is my pencil? So I want it to come inside of this just a little bit. You see that they've got a little bit of a little bit maybe there. So put this. So now I just need to cut them all this exact size. Make sure these are lined up here. Okay, I'm going to save all my trimmings because next week I'm going to make the ephemera that will go inside of this book. So I'll do something for this little pocket here. I think I glued that one closed. Something for this pocket and then something for this pocket. So tune in next week to see how I finish the ephemera. And I'm sure I'll use some of these. I mean, there's just some really, really beautiful marks on these. So I'm going to put this to the side. And then we have all of our pages. They're all cut to the same size. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fold each one of them individually so that they can get a really nice crease. Here's my bone folder. They can get a really nice crease down the middle, and then I'll nestle them in, and then I'll move on to the next step. All right, so since they all have different designs, I don't really have to do much here. I'm just going to nestle them all inside of each other. These are just so pretty. I mean, look at that. That is just awesome. I must think that should be the inside one. Don't you think this should be the inside one? Even though you can't answer me. I know you're saying yes. So now I'm taking these and I'm nestling them into the center of the book. Okay. Of course I messed it up. And I'm going to grab a big book here so that I can poke my holes. Okay, so I have them in a book that is used to me poking holes in it, so he won't be sad. I feel like that's pretty centered. Okay, then I want one on the top, and I'm just eyeing this up. It's not a, you don't have to have this be an exact science here. Make sure it's there, and then one on the bottom. Okay, I can see all of them there, so that is fabulous. Let's move my book out of the way, and we will get my sewing materials. I have some wax thread here in like the perfect color, so that is what I'm going to use. I still have glue all over my fingers. Sorry, it kind of drives me nuts. Okay, so I'm going to do about 3.5 times. Let's do, you know what? I'm going to do that before I put it in the needle because I can't figure it out. 1, 2, 3, and about a half. Okay, I'm going to leave this loose. I'm not tying this. I'm leaving this loose. Loosey-goosey. And I'm going to start just right in the middle here. Pulling it through. Okay. I'm just going to hold on to that because I don't want that to move. I should just do it like this. Okay, I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom. Okay, pull it tight. And then you'll come up again through the middle. And then I'm going to just tuck this. I probably only needed 2.5 times, but that's okay. Tuck this underneath here. And I'm going to tie these in a knot. And before you tie it in a knot, you just want to make sure it looks good on the outside, and it does. And you can tie it in a little bow or whatever you want to do. I like the dangling ends on mine. I just think they're kind of fun. They add a little visual interest. And there you have it. I mean, how stinking adorable is this? So next week I'll make the ephemera to go in. And then you've got a 16-page journal. And I mean, look at this thing. It's so beautiful. Look at that middle. Don't we love that? We love that. We do. You know, now with the paper in too, I don't need something huge right here. Just a little something to tie that in. Maybe a little off. I'm looking at that asymmetrical balance. So I'll find something to put there. We'll see. And then there's the back. So when I make the ephemera to go inside of here, it'll kind of stick out over this hole. Let me see if I can just slide this in quick so I can show you what I'm saying. Right, so it'll be there, kind of like that. So whatever I make, we'll cover that out and it'll be something else. And I'm kind of thinking that that little piece that I have left might be sticking out like this. Yep, that is going to have to happen because look at how pretty that is. So I will see you next week. Make sure that you come visit me at my website, janebelanteart.com. There you will find my popular $10 courses. And then I also have my Mixed Media Club there. You can click on it, check it out. We do so much in there. I really, really appreciate you watching and being here, and I hope you have a great week.